Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to showing you huge battles at Bannerlord and then giving you the tactics and field command that you need to win your own battles. And our campaign continues here, and as you can see, we actually have a battle that is looming here. We just had a very large battle. If you want to look for it, it was called the War of Attrition. This just happened. We had two different armies that I was rescuing. One of the armies is now heading to Epicrotia here. And the other army, I was sort of escorting it, trying to get it to a castle to get reinforcements. And as you can see, the enemy swarmed us. Our troops are injured. We got attacked from basically multiple different sides. The enemy made some calculations that it was appropriate to attack. And so here we are. We're going to continue to use 50% player damage for this. Many of our companions are injured. And frankly, our army is in a pretty injured state. The first battle was some 5,000 enemies against us, and this is another 3,000 here. So I don't like the map layout at all as well. We've got these injured and now healed members here. We can stick all these guys here in the 8th Corps. I'll plop them guys down there. I can see the enemy over the horizon there, but I don't really have a good location to approach them. And I don't like my ridge options here. This area to the right might be exploitable, but it's a very sharp ridge. It's a very broken up, jagged terrain, and I'm not sure this is going to work either for a good tactical setup. Of course, we have plenty of archers. We have plenty of Tanian Fiend champs. Those are the first ones to heal. We had almost 24 hours in between the battles, so we did get some guys to heal. But we're also going to have, a lot of our main troops injured. A lot of our primary infantry is going to be injured going into this battle, so we won't have access. Now, what I'd like to do is funnel the enemy through that little pass there, over the top of this ridge here. We're going to set up archers. We're going to set up infantry slightly ahead of the archers, and then I'm going to try to jam them up with cavalry. The idea being, if I can get the enemy to sort of trickle over that ridge, we won't face their whole onslaught at the same time. I'm going to run up here and do a little reconnaissance, right? Like the great war leaders of history, they would do their own scouting, right? Napoleon, before the Battle of Austerlitz, took a look at the entire battlefield beforehand, and we're gonna assess the situation here. So I'm not thrilled about this. I'm actually it's too late to pull back now, but I'm probably considering a change in tactics mid-battle here. This ridge is very broken up, and so it's going to be difficult for our archers to get a good target as they come in. And the enemy, of course, is going to have plenty of cavalry here with the Vlandian heavy force. You can see them starting to come over the ridge there. I think the initial stage here, we're going to be able to open fire and cause some major damage. I can also pincher charge the enemy here. The third is holding the center, that's Cav, and we can charge in from the side here with our second Cav, and I think we can do some pretty good damage and hem them up here on the top. You see the arrows are whizzing in. We're starting to take serious damage from our archers. The screen is mostly green, and at least for now, it appears sort of tenuously okay for us to hold this position. They've got Cav pouring over here on this other side. They have Asterai forces too, so they're going to have very tough cavalry in this battle. And they are coming over, of course, in shield wall because they are hearing the reports of the murderous fire on the other side of this ridge, right? These guys are being mowed down. These horse archers here are all bottled up and trapped. So these guys are getting massacred as well. I am hitting guys for 140 damage and they're not dying, so that's indicative of a high-level lord, or maybe even high-level lords, plural, on the enemy side here. They're already starting to get cav spears, cav lines infiltrating our archers here, and we may pretty quickly pull over this ridge here. Their infantry starting to buckle in on our archers. I actually didn't see these guys sneaking in. Part of the difficulty I have with this ridge, of course, especially at night, is my visibility as a commander is reduced. We're going to drag these guys out of this upper ridge area here. I've got a couple of different ideas of where to pull them, but they've got archers now starting to set up on the ridge. We're gonna pull back here a bit. I still have two cav divisions. I can use one as a distractionary square and the other one as a counter charge. Any of the enemy cav that's charging will be able to counter pretty well with the second cav. and I'm still dragging the 7th cav, which is also a combination of cav and horse archers. You can see their archers up top. They've got 126 infantry still chasing us. We will deal with them here at the bottom of the hill. But that position just wasn't going to be tenable long term. All their archers coming over the ridge. We're at bad angles for our archers to really target them heavily. And the biggest problem I have right now is the enemy has so much heavy cav. With this much heavy cav, your archer positions become tenuous in a hurry, and you have to make new plans. Okay, so here's their infantry line. We've got the 2nd cav following me, and we're going to combine attack here. The 1st, 6th, 8th, 2nd, and 3rd cav all get sent at the same time. And we're going to try to destroy this infantry force right where it stands. Oh, I've got myself a lot of aggro right away. In fact, I'm going to try to get out of here now. Sometimes in battles like this, I generate a lot of attention, and that definitely appears to be the case. With 300 athletics, though, I can simply run away from these troops. Killing our own guys again, the ritual sacrifice, as one of the subscribers suggested. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. You know, we're going to kill some guys accidentally with this many troops on the field, this much chaos. It's sort of inevitable. Kill some horses by accident. These things are inevitable. Look at that. That was 207 damage. I drilled that guy with the fucking javelin, and he just kept on riding his horse like it was nothing. This is highly disconcerting. That there's a probability they have very high level lords in this battle, as well as outnumbering us 2.5 to 3 to 1. I might need to pull back to yet another ridge line here. I can see their archers are starting to come over this ridge. I got to avoid getting spitted by one of these banner knights. The archers here have a great position. You can see them just lighting up the enemy as they come over that ridge. But the enemy's starting to get archers of their own set up. And so we're going to have a bit of an archer jousting duel here. A little bit of a ranged duel. Now, I don't have any infantry or cav left. I'm looking around, and I just don't see any. Our reinforcements will probably be coming in from either our left or from behind us here because of our initial positioning. And I think it's time to reposition already. Yeah, you can see I've got reinforcements all the way across the valley there. I need to get our forces combined together here. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. Re-pulling back down over this ridge again. A lot of times in battles like this, you have to have sort of a rolling plan. You know, you're sort of rolling with the punches. You know, Muhammad Ali or any other competitor in a battle like this. If you were facing a really tough foe, you would sort of have to roll with the punches. I mean, this is literally like where the saying comes from, right? I'm going to wipe out some of these Ferris in the back here. Headshot for 1,300. Take that, motherfucker. All right, so infantry's heading towards the front. We've got a very strong infantry line that's now defending our archery. We have a cav line that we can drag forward with us. The 6th and 8th, those are skirmishers and our elite units. Those are charging. They've got a cavalry square there that's doing a beautiful job. But again, look at that, 200 damage I did to that guy, and he's not killed. This is going to be a problem. This is going to be a very tough battle. The screen is all green right now, though. Our tactical setup here is much, much better. We're cleaning up some of their heavy cav. And I think as long as we continue tactically to operate in a good manner, look at how green the screen is, right? We're going to mop up yet another one of these fucking enemy forces. We're used to challenges here on the channel, right? We're used to difficult battles. At the beginning of the power bar was wildly in the enemy favor, and now it's obviously swung back to like a 50-50 battle here. Trying to get this infantry positioned towards the front, but the landscape here is so broken up that the UI is not letting me. I think I started this battle with like 60% health, so even though I'm at reduced player damage, it's almost like normal player damage here. I'm joining my men on the ground again. We're going to continue to try to inspire our infantry here. These are actually archers that the enemy looks like are pushing forward. We're going to push in here on these guys, Canadian Fiend Champs, Master Archers, right? The enemy has very high level troops. Looks like I took a nasty arrow shot there. But still, our infantry likes it when archers charge us, right? Even if they're higher level archers. Got to get one of these barn doors as a shield. Wipe out some cav here. And the enemy is just pouring in never-ending heavy cav. And they're coming downhill. This is just nothing I can do about it. Once they had the ridge there, this was an inevitability. We were going to get charged down by 100 horses. Fuck you. I'm going to pay for fucking attacking me, or I'll kill your horse too. Again, 150 damage that guy hit me, or I hit him, and he just marches on. So this battle looks extra difficult. I got a lord here trying to fucking wipe me out. I got a javelin for you, motherfucker. Right in the chest. Alright, archer reinforcements are streaming in. We can get them set up on this opposing ridge here. The advantage of that, of course, is that they'll have this whole valley between them and the enemy where they'll be able to shoot. Our infantry line there towards the main enemy front is sort of vanishing. They've got so many archers, and of course they're high-level archers. They've got Britannian Fiend Champs. They've got Sword Sisters. There's sharpshooters all over through here. I'm gonna try to just do some interrupting work here. I've got one small cav corps that I'm following or dragging right now, but the enemy seems thick as fucking flies right now. There's kind of a chaotic scrum here between our infantry and their archers and infantry that's coming down the hill. They got fucking Britannian Fiend Champs still. So it's an archer duel on this ridge here. And unfortunately, the enemy has way more heavy cav than us. Again, 149 damage, and these guys just won't fucking die. 154 won't die. Archers, move, attack! Now, I can retreat one more time down this ridge here. It's really repositioning. I say retreat, right? We're not running from the enemy, but that's where I'm getting reinforcements from. And in a battle like this, just like the previous battle, right, you want to be close to your reinforcement spawn. That way, when they come out, they can immediately help you. I mean, this is a fucking tough army we're facing. These are all fucking palace guards. These are the highest level infantry. And again, 202 damage, and that guy didn't die. So we're fighting a superhero army here. And we're going to need to do every single thing right here to have a chance for success. So I've got a cav division, and the 7th is heavy cav. 1st is horse archers. We can drag them through. I'm going to pull these guys down one more time here. I've actually fought a few other battles in this valley, and it's suboptimal, but there is a couple tactical advantages I can derive from this. The first is that hill there in the center. Eventually, if I can get the enemy to come down here, what we can do is actually get our troops around the corner of that hill, and it'll act sort of as a vertical peekaboo ridge, right? The enemy will have to come around that corner before they can attack us, and then we can use combined attacks and, of course, archers to really assault them. Still all palace guards. Asterai Mamluk guard. The screen is turned decidedly red. We have 29 infantry to combat this huge enemy infantry force. And at this stage of the campaign, losing battles really is not an option. We are down to 3 cities and 4 castles. If we were to get captured at this stage of the campaign, I won't say it's fatal, but it's going to be highly detrimental to the situation. So this is a bit of a V formation. It's a complex tactic where you move archers and infantry to sort of face each other at an angle, and what happens is if the enemy infantry magnetizes to your infantry, your archers are now shooting the enemy on the side or the back. Now, we don't have very much infantry to pull this off, so it may not be as successful as I like, but at least all of these archers over here have a pretty good shot on the enemy, and without them holding their shields up. That's another thing I want to mention. Anytime the enemy's coming in with you with cav and a shield wall like that, wipe out their horses, right? They're holding their shield up. It won't do any good to attack them. Aim for their horses. Take them off their horse. This continues to be a fucking just a slugfest. They've got a large tranche of archers here that I'm trying to deal with. They're pouring through the valley. And it's really causing a lot of damage to our archers. These fucks right here. Of course, it doesn't help to get speared. Speared in the chest for fucking 20 damage. My my health is at a very, very low stage for this part of the battle. I'm starting to get very concerned at this stage. I just got another reinforcement tranche. And get these archers pulled back. This is the hill area I'm talking about. I think tactically we can win a few exchanges here by using this sharp hill. That little hill right there, if I can get forces put on the opposite side of here, you can see it sort of shields them from the enemy and it forces them to come around this little corner. Even though we're going to suffer some losses on the pullback here, I think this is going to be tactically worth it. These fucking cav, man. Non-stop enemy heavy cav. Well, there was a high price to that retreat, but now that we're in position, I think it's going to start paying dividends. 254 archers, but now our guys are around the corner there. They're right next to the spawn spot. You can see all our archers are positioned beautifully on that ridge. I have an infantry line and a cav line that's really slowing down the enemy forces. It's magnetizing their cav here. These guys are going to get shot off their horse for sure. Their cav is going to get obliterated here. And I imagine the death spam is going to turn decidedly green here soon. Still pretty heavy red. I'm going to try to get these guys positioned a little bit better. I'm going to shift the infantry here into a square. The cav line is still holding their enemy cav pretty well. But look how many fucking enemy infantry there are. It's just a fucking swarm. There's fucking horses dying. There's men running through. There's archers pushing forward. This is a chaotic fucking battle. We will be able to pull off some hammer and anvil tactics here, of course, assuming I don't get shot off my horse. You know what? I just got reinforcements on the other side of the enemy. This is perfect. This is what I was hoping for, pulling back to our spawn spot. Look at all our archers. They're on that side. I've got infantry now bearing down on the enemy right here. All of these little guys here just popped in right behind the enemy. So they're going to take some damages as they get close to the enemy infantry. But once we do, this is going to be like putting your hand in a vice and turning it several times. Very bad things are going to happen here to the enemy. I'm almost off my horse. I'm down to an absolute sliver with the RTS mod. Fortunately, I will be able to continue the battle even if I get dropped. But I also lose this guy's killing power, right? This guy's killing power, especially individual cav, just sort of skirmishing at the edge of battle, is just far superior. These motherfuckers all aiming for the Jarl. Far superior than any character I'm going to take over. So the archers here are sort of resolutely holding out. They've got this large group of archers that's really giving us a hard time. Our infantry, though, and archers are both coming down here. We're concentrated. We're going to be able to mop up these archers pretty quick. Now they have so many archers that were attacking our infantry that they're actually overwhelming these guys over here. Look at all these fucking forces. This is so deep into our formations here. These guys are highly overextended, but they're doing a lot of damage, right? These troops here at the very back of our formation, they just actually wiped out that archer corps. I still see fucking palace guards and other high-level ranked infantry. We're going to retake this position here. This is fucking our territory. And then hopefully we can set up a pretty good tactical opportunity here. Screen's all green for once. I've got 100 infantry. I've got 80 archers, I got almost 130 archers and a heavy cav wing. We should be able to do some hammer and anvil here and use this as a defensive base. This battle has been kind of breathless. It's been difficult for me to describe exactly what's going on. A lot of times that's going to happen late in our campaign, right? Everybody who's watching, who's played a bunch of Bannerlord battles, has had those battles where it just felt like it was so chaotic and so difficult that there wasn't even a lot of time just to think, you know, much less actually command your units. We got some flying horses going on here. Enemy heavy cav is now pouring in. We're dragging the 8th Corps, which is cav, and we're just sort of trying to counter it. Every time it charges into our archers here, we're basically trying to bring all these cav with us. Again, 203 damage, and these fucks won't die. Fucking horsemen. I've got I've got cross-firing archers, though. Those archers are on different angles, so they're going to be hammering the enemy from multiple different directions as they come in. I've got a strong infantry line here. We can offset these guys so that these archers have an even better line of sight. And then, of course, we can shift them to a square for high survivability. Archers are pounding the enemy. The screen is mostly green. And now we're going to cav slam these guys, right? I've got a bunch of cav behind me. I've got a fraction of health. But now we can start dragging these cav and hammer and anvil these fucks. Alright, see, this is what I meant with the hill. The enemy has to come around this hill. A lot of those guys can't even see us, can't even shoot. I'm going to drag these cav now around the other side of this ridge, and we're going to hammer and anvil all these units that are trying to come after our guys. Let's have the infantry and shield wall in charge. I've got the 8th cav following me. It's time to fucking punish these enemies for coming around the corner here blind. Our tactical dominance is starting to win the day here. Alright, let's do this. Hammer and anvil time. Having the 8th Corps follow me, this is 29 pretty strong cavalry. We'll swing them in a wide arc here. Try not to get shot off our horse. It's fucking endless enemies everywhere I look. And let's drive them right around the corner here into the back of these fucking archers and infantry. Right through their fucking ranks. Archers that are out of ammo are being sent to charge. That's working beautifully. Let's get that infantry up there. Let's get these archers moved up on a flank so they have a nice angle to shoot. And I'm going to join my men here. As many guys as we can wipe out here before we're knocked off our horse. The Jarl takes one in the side. Alright, so we pick up immediately here with one of the other heavy horse. This looks like one of the Sturgian noble units. We're going to do some damage here. We're going to continue dragging the 8th Corps and continue to sort of finish up this wave here of enemies. We've got crossfire archers, we've got infantry charging, and we're going to continue just to charge through with our heavy cav. This guy looks like he's more than capable of killing on his own. Let's do some two-handed spears here. It's even more damage. I don't usually play a spear horseman, but this RTS mod sort of forces you to learn new characters, learn new styles. So we'll see how we can do here. Got fucking 169 damage, and these guys still aren't dying again. Let's get these guys coiled back. I can't have these guys getting too far around the corner. I need to continue to use this defensive option here. These archers are positioned beautifully, but I want my infantry around the side of that ridge. That way the enemy has to come around that corner to attack them offensively. I think that's the moon setting, which means that daylight is not that far away. Just like the last battle, we might get a sunrise right in the middle of battle here, and the screen is heavily green. The enemy's kind of spread out, and they don't have a very well-defined line, but they are coming up in gigantic numbers. I'm also going to run out of troops at some point in this battle. I don't know how many reinforcement waves I've had, and that's one of the things that I try to do here in this campaign on our channel. For you, if you're watching kind of for the first time, or you don't really know, I don't open the status window that shows you kind of how many troops have been killed on both sides. I don't open that for both suspense for you and for me. All right, we can do a little hammer and anvil here. We can charge with our infantry while our cav comes in from behind. That should be pretty effective there. Yeah, guys are getting trucked. And the reason I do that is because I want you, the watcher, to have some drama, have some suspense. I've had guys describe our campaign a little bit like a great epic movie, and that's certainly how it's playing out. But of course, in an epic movie, you don't really want to know. You don't really want to know the end result. Right? One of the reasons that The Dark Knight, the second series, was so good, the second Batman was so good, is that nobody really knew. It kind of seemed like the Joker had the edge the whole movie, right? Bruce Wayne was doing everything he could, and every time he did something, the Joker did something deviously brilliant and came out on top. That's a little bit like our campaign here. We're doing everything we can to fight the whole map, and we're certainly giving them everything we got. But in every battle, and indeed the campaign itself, I want the viewer who's sort of following along episode to episode to really ride through the highs and the lows with us here, right? We're winning these incredibly dramatic battles, these difficult battles, but victory is never assured. In this battle, I have no idea if we're going to win, and I don't want you to have any idea either. That suspense, I think, adds a layer of enjoyment to the battle. I'm certainly enjoying it, and hopefully you guys are too. All right, we're bringing our infantry up here. My archers are somewhat out of arrows, so I've got one archer division charging. The enemy has seemingly endless troops. Now they are lower tier, middle to lower tier. These are like tier 3 crossbowmen. But if you have enough of them, you can overcome our army, right? Or overcome our troops. And I'm looking around, and it looks like I have 100 troops on the battlefield, which is a very bad sign. This is not a spoiler necessarily, but this is our last infantry wave. This is our last archer wave. There's no more help coming in this battle. When you get below about 150, normally you get reinforcements, and we are not getting reinforcements. That means what you see here is what we have left. I have 60 infantry, 24 archers, and the archers, a lot of these guys are out of ammo. This is highly problematic. Now we've got some high-level troops still. I see Titanium Fiends in there. We're going to try to do everything we can to counter here with our small cav wing. But the enemy's fucking pouring over this ridge. Similarly, I don't know if the enemy's out of reinforcements, right? This could be one of those battles where it's down to the last couple hundred guys. They actually have recruits in here, volunteers, but enough peasants can beat anybody down. We're doing our part here. We're skewering a guy every 5 seconds. Fucking chest. A spear to the chest. I love when they talk trash. I'll eat your ooh, they get fucking drilled. It's a great sound effect. Alright, now I'm extremely concerned. There's no reinforcements coming. This is it. This is our last 40 guys. This is our Alamo. We're making our stand here. And this battle hangs on the edge of a knife. I'm doing everything I can to fucking block and survive. We've got like fucking a handful of cav left, and this 30 or 40 guys that's rapidly diminishing. 16, 27, 37. Fuck, it's close. Get off our fucking archers. A lot of these are militia, but again, if there's enough militia, they can take out troops, right? That's the whole purpose of militia, is to augment the military support. You can almost say that the entire United States of America was sort of formed on the basis of a strong militia. Of course, eventually they become regular troops, but initially it was just militia, like defending their fucking taverns and telling the British, we're not going to pay for fucking tea, we're not going to pay for sugar. Man, I would love to have like 30 more troops right here, because I think we're in trouble. Yeah, the numbers there are dwindling. There's like 10 guys. The enemy is sort of scatterbrained here, but they're just pouring in like the fucking zombie apocalypse. It looks like one of those shooter games like Call of Duty where the zombies charge. You got all these fucking peasants with their little clubs and shit. But it's enough, right? We're being overwhelmed. And we fucking lost. We lost this battle. Fuck. There's no way we can win. We've got 2 other cav. Like, the reality of it is sinking in for me that our army is going to get captured here. That very powerful force that I went into battle here is going to be destroyed. Fuck you, peasants. We're going to kill as many of you guys and send as many of you home in a box as we can. Now with my main character, I have defeated like 100 or 150 troops at once, but there's just no way I can do it with this tier 4 cav. He's taking a beating. That's an enemy lord. Fuck you. And I want to kill that enemy lord so bad. The whole loss would be softened if I could kill their enemy lord. At this stage, also the ramifications of this are really starting to sink in too, right? Like, we had a really powerful army here. I mean, this is a perfect example of a battle that I felt like we had a pretty good chance of winning. It actually seemed easier than the first battle here as we get peasant beat down. Their lord is just like gloating over me while I'm beat to death by peasants. But this is going to be very damaging for our campaign. Of course, we're gonna be getting back up. We're gonna dust ourselves off. We're undaunted here as I take over. It looks like one of these last cav units. But this is obviously at this stage of the campaign is highly damaging. So we took out 3,000 troops. You know, that means they had what, 300 or 400 left at most. But this was a good example, right? This was a battle that it kind of seesawed back and forth after some tactical difficulties earlier with the terrain. You know, the enemy just ultimately was able to wear us down here. A true war of attrition here. And part of me just wants to ride off the map, but the other part of me is obstinate and is like, yeah, you want to get some of this? You can die too, motherfucker. Fucking cut you down. I really want to cut down their lord. If I could cut down, or even better, if I could kill their lord at the end of this battle, man, that would be sweet. But for those following the campaign, right, we have 3 cities left, we have 4 castles, we probably have 1,500 total troops between those different locations. All of our lords will be captured in this, right? This was all 3 of our major armies. Look at this guy, he's just casually standing here. Fuck you. But of course, you know, this is the intent of this campaign. It's not that I want to lose, it's that I want to have the hardest possible challenge. We are fighting the entire map, just like this battle. It's on maximum difficulty. They got high-level lords. In fact, in some cases, they're actually artificially augmented by mods. Makes their troops higher level. It makes their lords higher level. They level faster. They've got higher quality troops. And of course, we're fighting 8 different kingdoms with our now small kingdom. I mean, when I originally started this war against the whole map, I think we had 8 or 9 cities and 10, 12 castles, right? We were one of the biggest kingdoms. That's why I started this challenge, because the game was starting to snowball. Anybody who's played Bannerlord all the way through the end can probably remember the time, or roughly pinpoint the time where the map started to really turn in their favor. And that's what was happening in my campaign, right? We started to really rack up the wins. I'm going to try to spear this guy. I'd love to spear him right in front of all his troops and show him how weak they are. Damn, this guy just won't fucking die. But anyways, what I was saying, you know, you can all probably remember, if you've played a campaign all the way through, you can probably remember the point where it was pretty obvious you were going to win. You were going to be victorious over the whole map. At that stage of my campaign, right, we had about a third or maybe a quarter of the map conquered. I just declared war on everybody except Sturgia, right? Sturgia was my original kingdom. You know, I said, hey, we'll be at peace with them, quasi-alliance. We're going to fight everybody else for the challenge of it, for the sheer difficult challenge of it. Ultimately, we're just playing a game. We're just having a good time. And I wanted as hard a challenge as possible. And so just like these battles, where we are outnumbered, where we have to fight them back to back to back, you know, where we don't have time to let our troops heal, I wanted to see what we could do on basically like hell mode, Bannerlord hell mode, right? Anybody who's played Diablo. So we are unsuccessful, of course, in this battle, but this is, I think, a benefit to the challenge overall, and also a benefit to the viewer. You're never going to be sure whether or not we win. So that's going to add a layer of suspense. Most of the battles we're probably going to win, but we may lose too, right? So you as the viewer, you know that victory is never certain, and sometimes defeat is going to happen. But we're going to soldier on here. We're undaunted. We're going to dust ourselves off, and we will be back. Now, this part I rarely show. Of course, first hardly ever happens, but we're captured here. We're being dragged off in chains by this fucking Valandian force, and very quickly, actually, it looks like they're willing to offer us a ransom. They should have asked for a lot more. We've got bags of money laying all over the place. Look at our nobles want peace with the Valandians. Fuck no. Not only is there no peace, but now it's fucking vicious, all-out
war. We're gonna come back. We're gonna try to behead some Valandians. Look at, I immediately have fucking Sturgian forces chasing me, but we're undaunted here. In fact, we're even more irascible. We're even more determined to destroy our foes. We're going to give Calradia hell for the rest of this campaign. So hopefully those who are watching, hopefully you've enjoyed this campaign. Hopefully you've enjoyed the carnage, the difficulty, the huge battles, and hopefully I can help you with some tactical things in your own campaign. I'm not a master tactician, but I'm certainly getting to an experience level where I think I can help all but the very best of players. So I appreciate all you guys for watching. You guys are the only reason I'm here, otherwise I'm just some old fella mumbling in his studio. But I'm having a good time with this. I'm having fun talking about history on occasion, and I'm certainly having a fun time commiserating with you guys and also fighting these gigantic battles. So stay tuned. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button. All those things are good for the channel. Feel free to ask questions. I'm very quick usually to answer people in the comments section. And I will see you friends next time.